Makes me think of course, Second Suicide, where the characters are aware that Cylon style, they're going to be respawned in the ship when they die. And I love that they're described as with tentacles and eye stalks, and I can never quite put together what the if I can I draw these creatures. I don't think I can, but I sure would love to see a photo of one and see what the invaders in Second Suicide look like. And I wondered as I was reading that so much of that story is devoted to sexing, which what a wonderful thing for me to bring up on a Middle Green themed podcast, Middle Green themed podcast. But whatever, I love that word sexing. Like that's my preferred go-to verb from now on. And he's thinking about that as I was rereading. I was thinking, here's a fellow who's jealous of his roommate Kerr, who's going to be having a sexing relationship with his new roommate. And I wonder, are they still doing individual pairing? Maybe when they go on, I think if the ultimate reward is if they fight long enough, they can maybe go back to the home planet and start a family and live that life. But while they're in battle and they're going to die and be reborn and theoretically live forever, I wondered, why wouldn't they have some kind of new norms about sex and sexing going on? Why wouldn't there just be like the orgy? Hey, you're back from the battle. The orgy is there. If you want to play PlayStation, whatever our version of that is, it's over there. Whatever you want, man. It's your time before you have to go back to battle. But there's this focus, and it built this sympathy for us with this character because we've all been a little bit jealous. I've had that feeling. I'm like, oh, I feel for you. I wish that you were having a relationship also. So I was just curious because that sexual relationship or lack thereof is so much at the focus of that story. How did you go about deciding why that would be the style of these invaders? Why that would be their expectations of their personal relationships?
So that's a great question. That's not even important for their culture that I have that in the story. With the reason that's there is because as a short story, it's really hard to develop empathy for characters in just a few pages. You have to do it in paragraphs. Like, how am I going to make someone care about this character in a very short amount of time? And having them deal with unfair jealousy like that in a bad roommate situation is preying on our experiences. Like, I think you can just suck in, the majority of readers can crack that short story and immediately care about this character, which is what I needed to happen for that story really quickly, for all that was going to happen to them later. So that's just basic storytelling to come up with a predicament for the fictional character that almost anyone reading it will sympathize with, in order to get them to almost pair bond with this character so that you can then take them on an emotional roller coaster for what's different about this world. So that's the technique answer. The bigger philosophical answer is I think if you make things too alien, then there's nothing to learn from these stories. So the fact that they're so advanced and they're conquering every world that they encounter, but still have to deal with jealousy, talks a lot about our human condition, like all the progress that we've made and all the advances that we come up with, and we still have to deal with so many base emotions that are left over and no longer useful to us and are actually detrimental to us. We still have to, we're still saddled and riddled with those, is sad and fascinating to me. So I definitely like working those into stories for my own exploration, for sure.
That makes 100% sense because it absolutely works as a story, and maybe the question says more about me than it does about you. why I'm so curious about these alien sex lives, and I want you to write a sequel that just answers those questions for me.